This is the story of how my life got turned upside down and I nearly lost it all. I had some issues about 12 or so years ago. I went to Sears and bought a Craftsman Accelerator GT garden tractor. It was the coolest mower I had ever seen. Not only was it cool looking, but it was fast. I could now mow my yard at almost 8 miles per hour. Trust me, a police officer checked my speed one time when I was driving it down the road. The sheer speed and power impressed even him. I really started turning some heads around the neighborhood, and I mean a lot of heads. People were waiting and watching for me to start mowing. Some people would even cheer when I came outside. My newfound popularity started to go to my head. I started doing things that were very out of character. I started cheating on my wife and doing cocaine. Word started getting out that the hero of the neighborhood had fallen. I was not about to lose my status as the most alpha man in the neighborhood. When I would overhear people talking about me, I would start fights to shut them up. So, one day I ended up catching my next-door neighbor just sitting on my mower. He told me we needed to talk about my recent behavior. I just told him, "Get your beta male ass off my mower." And well, once he finally got off, I caught him with a hook and dropped him right to the ground like a sack of pussy-ass potatoes. He looked at me and said, "Look what you have become, Michael. This isn't you." And honestly, that hit me harder than one of my own punches ever could, which is pretty fucking hard. I did a lot of soul searching that day, really. Then I decided, you know what? The best thing for me to do was to return the Craftsman Accelerator GT garden tractor back to Sears. It had almost ruined my life. The salesman I returned it to was, well, super rude when I told him why I was bringing it back. He just kept telling me that he had given me a better life and I threw it in his face. Then he even called out his manager, Mark, who started telling me I was a failure. Mark also accused me of not being able to please my wife. But in the end, I still returned the mower. They ended up charging me a 15% restocking fee. I figured, honestly, that was a fair price to get my life back. I found out a year later that Mark, from Sears, had lost his job when the store closed. Apparently, he and the salesman were also involved in a drive-by shooting at a Home Depot, and both were killed. The newspapers said the driver of the car was actually driving in reverse, and that the two had been deliberately targeted because they had gotten in a tough spot with a local drug cartel after they started selling cocaine to their mower customers. I always thought that was pretty odd, but you can't ever understand what this life will do to you until you've lived it. As for me, I'm on the mend and never see myself going down that dark path again.